vegetables before you eat them, you know.
Oh goodness. Right. About to go live. Here we go. Twinkles.
Hey, where's that little alien at?
She in there. She'll be in here.
Here we go. It's time for love, sex, and war on the Vent Radio Network. And here's your host, Miss Wet Cat.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is your host, your girl, Ms. Wet Cat. I'm here on Love, Sex, and War through Vent Radio, and we have a good show tonight. A very interesting topic tonight. But before we can get to the topic, I'd like to introduce people that's on my panel right now. We have Whispers. How you doing, Whispers?
How you doing?
And we also have Big G. What's up, Big G?
Oh, nothing. What the hell do you want with me today?
See what I'm saying? This is the attitude I get. You get me? But anyway, we have a wonderful topic. It's very deep, and it's a lot of things that I would like to ask questions in regards to this topic. The topic for tonight is speaking up for your child about and doing something about it in regards to, incest and molestation in the home. So that's the topic tonight. First of all, I'd like to just reiterate the meaning here in regards to incest, which is a sexual activity between family members or close relatives, blood relatives or kinfolks. I mean, that's the truth of the truth. Back in the day down south, we already know within the family, there was always incest somewhere.
Just down south?
I mean, from where a lot of that had started was pretty much down south. I mean, incest is everywhere. Yeah, that's true enough. But I know a lot of that was happening down south back in the day that I know
Oh, wow.
of. Have you ever had anybody in your family that had some type of incest? There's Whispers.
I'm not sure if they did. They kept it kind of quiet.
Okay, that's true. That's true. You see what I'm saying? Everything up under the cover
Mm-hmm.
was quiet as kept, right?
Right.
Now, usually the
I mean,
perpetrator.
I heard of step kids doing it. You know, like step brother, step sister. I heard of that kind of stuff. You know.
Cousins, what the not maybe not close cousins. Well, they got close cousins. They got cousins. Everybody, it's different ones. The abuser doesn't only have to be. It could be a man or a woman. It doesn't matter which one.
Incest between family members doesn't necessarily have to be abusive. It could be participants. So
exactly.
Are we on molestation or are we on incest?
Well, we on right. We on molestation, and I just wanted to just bring in a little bit in regards to incest because I know this is something that happens with the family mutually, and then there's
involved if it was by force, then that would be molestation.
Right. But what we're really talking about is molestation, which is not by force. I mean, which is by force. My question is, why do you think? Why do you think it's hard for a child to tell their parents what has happened to them in regards to another family member?
A child could be confused. You know, a lot of times they're not something. That's just like you bringing somebody into something new, like I said, if it's somebody that's really young at the age maybe 5 or 6 years old, I mean, those are innocent people. They're confused. They don't know no better.
Right.
No.
They don't know no better, but then again, they're probably scared.
Well, in order to be scared of something that you don't know of, it's the part that comes in that they scared to say anything because they're at the point where you get to an age where you're ashamed of what's going on, and then if the person that you're dealing with, the person that's dealing with you, you know, of some sort.
Well, what if she's like okay, she doesn't have to be, or he doesn't have to be 8 or nothing like that. He could be old enough to understand what's right and what's wrong.
Okay, that falls in a different category though,
Yeah, but
because you can see, you can take a child at the age of 4, 5, and 6 years old and molest them. You see what I'm saying? You can molest. That's a different category. Molestation
They're being molested.
and incest is two different things. So you can have incest and know that you have an incest with the person that you with. You know that's my cousin, or you know that's my uncle. But see, a kid, they don't know the difference at the age of 5 and 6 years old.
right. That's true. That's true. At that age, they don't.
That's molesting a child more so
Yeah.
than like if you're 13 and 14 years old and this has been my uncle since I've been knowing him, and I'm having sex with him.
Right.
You know,
It's molestation.
right, but it falls under a different level of category because at that point you know what's going on.
Right.
You know the difference. You should know the difference.
Okay. So for is it common to be is it common to be as a male? I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna say either male or female. I just wish I had a female on here that could tell me as well. But as a male, is it common to be molested by a male, female, or both?
Hey, well, be honest with you, you know, I can admit to myself, you know, I was molested by both.
Okay.
And that started when I was at the age of 5 years old,
Yeah.
all the way up till I was 13.
Okay. So
I would
it could.
have to agree that it could be both. Um, it's kind of like Whisper said, you know, sometimes you don't even realize that you're being molested. I was molested by my babysitter. I think I was about 11 years old, but I loved it. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
So,
at
you know,
that point and at that time, that wasn't something that you would normally do. So it could be to where you can fall into that, to where you know you're liking what had happened to you because it's never happened before.
well, I mean, at that time, you know, as long as it wasn't a same sex thing, like
Hmm.
with my babysitter, she was a woman and she was an adult, but did I view it as molestation? I absolutely didn't. Um, I actually, you know, into something because this grown woman was messing with me, and
Mm.
the difference is I wanted to be messed with by her.
Okay.
You know, my
Okay.
mother didn't like it. You know, after she eventually found out what was going on, but
How did she find out?
I ended up telling her. Um, the babysitter made me mad, and you know how kids do once they get mad and they know that they got something over your head.
Hmm.
So I told my mother, and it was a big thing for about a day and a half, maybe 2 days, but after that, seemed like it just went away.
Mm.
Well, see, my situation, I got molested by both, but um, my situation was that I grew up not communicating with anybody,
Hmm.
so it interfered with all my relationships through all my life, even marriage.
It did interfere.
Yeah, it interfered because I was angry.
Hmm.
Right, right, right.
I didn't. I'm 55, and I didn't tell my mother and father until last year.
Wow.
Oh no, the year before last. And my mama told me, she said, no wonder you were going through some, because she said, at some point she thought I hated her. You
Wow.
know,
That's deep.
Wow.
yeah, and I mean it was hard on me. The reason why I'm freely to talk about it because I turned it over to God's hands. So I could have went to a counselor. I could have, and sometimes I still feel that I might need that help because I still get angry at times.
Yeah. Right, right.
Wow. That's
So
deep.
have you ever thought about like getting some counseling or anything in regards to
Yeah,
that? Because
I,
that's a
I,
problem.
I went to the doctor and he told me I confessed to him because he was telling me what's going on with you because a lot of people that even relationships, it was like I can't get close to you because I ain't never been in love, and it's like it's hard for me to open up. You know,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
not like I don't want to, but at the same time, it's been like something that's really bothering me. And it's been
Okay.
affecting my whole life.
Sound like somebody about to trying to break in there on you now and molest you.
Oh no, they doing some repairs in the back of the house.
Oh my goodness. I was wondering what all that noise was. I didn't say anything, but I'm like, I wonder if they hear what I hear.
I was trying to avoid it, but they got here kind of late.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Gmo
Wow.
Nelly.
Well, what about you, Miss White Cat? Had you ever had any experience growing up where you
Any
you
type of molestation, no. The only thing I did have at one point in time, I can say that I was raped
wow.
uh, um, as a victim, and at that time that happened, I actually felt as if nobody cared. That's afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like I've
Right.
done something wrong.
See,
That's how I felt.
that's how I felt all my life, and
How
I'm kind of still trying to get out of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm over it, and but you can never be totally over it, but because it would always be in your mind. So yes, I mean, it's been there before, it's happened before, and uh,
It's just best to be like me myself. I found to release that pressure is to be freely and just talk about it. It ain't worth keeping it in you because that stress will kill you.
yes, it can, yes, it can, and that's the reason why I asked, did you have some kind of counseling or somebody to express it to, because those type of issues will corrupt your life. I'm
No,
not gonna say not everybody, but
no,
some.
because I have to admit, even God, in God's eyes, I have to say the honest truth. I am so glad that I didn't end up being a molester myself
Hmm.
or being gay.
Yes.
Those
Thank
two
God.
things right there, I don't play.
Right.
At the same time, it made me more leery and worried about my own kids.
well, how old were you, Miss
Exactly.
White Cat, when you experienced what you experienced?
I was actually like 16 or something like that. I was a teenager when
And
I
you didn't share
experienced
it with
that.
anybody?
Pardon me?
You didn't share it with anybody after it happened?
No, because I knew if I did, eh, my daddy was gonna kill somebody, and I've known him to actually do. I couldn't have that happen. The person, to be honest with you, the person that actually did this was a classmate of mine in college,
I'd have whooped his ass.
and I was scared to involve my brothers and all that because I already knew it would be detrimental up in that school.
So
You ain't
did
lying, because if I was your brother, I'd have whooped his ass.
did
Yeah.
Yeah,
he beat
that's
you?
the. I mean,
Did he beat you, or did he just, you know?
no, he just took what he wanted, and that was it. But I can say I do have a few friends who's been in that same situation, who's been what do you call it, drug raped,
Hmm.
and I think it really took a toll on her. As many, from the rape situations that she had been into, and I think it made her distrust men. That's what it made her. It made her distrust men, and she just wouldn't turn back over for a guy.
Well, let's try to stay on topic.
Yeah, exactly.
When it comes to molestation with a child, um,
Hmm.
it in the black community, it seems to me that I don't think it's as bad now, but I can remember it being, when stuff like that would happen and you would hear about it, everybody would be hush hush, or uh, the grown-ups were saying, that little fast heifer just lying.
Hmm.
Ain't nobody doing
Exactly.
it. And then if they didn't say she was lying, they might say something like, well, she wanted it. She always jumping up in some man's lap.
Hmm.
You know,
Exactly.
I can remember hearing those type of things. What I want to know is, what is it with these grown women who know that their daughters are being molested, and sometimes by their boyfriends, sometimes even by their natural fathers?
Hmm.
Why are they so much in denial?
Afraid of losing that man.
Exactly.
That's one of them.
Hmm.
Afraid of
Yeah.
losing? Yeah. Well, how
What
much
they
of a
do.
man is he if he molested your daughter?
I mean, I understand that, but you got so many people out here that just, I guess you can say, naive to things. I don't know. You got so many people out here that turns their head on a whole lot of them because it's still going on.
I uh
Yeah, it
I grew
is.
up with a young lady on the east side that married a guy, and she had a daughter, and beautiful daughter too. And he molested her daughter.
Mm.
And the crazy part is that he went to jail for it. He got out, and she got back with him, and she's with him right now to this day.
Oh my God. So where's the daughter?
The daughter has moved on with her life and lives in another state, and doing very well for herself. When I last heard,
Hmm.
but the mother is still with this guy. She lost all her friends. Um, Nobody really, out of all of us that grew up together, nobody wants to be around her.
Yeah.
Uh, for going back to this guy that molested her daughter, and
Mm-hmm.
she pretty much is like, she don't give a damn.
Yeah. It's more like she love that man and she love her child. And it's sad because it's a
But is
lot of
that
women
really
out
love?
there.
Is that
I
really
mean,
love?
I
I
don't know
don't
what
believe
it
that that's
is.
really love.
I really don't know what it is, but
I think
all I
it's
know
more like
is,
Whisper said. Whisper said that's a desperate woman.
yeah. Okay,
You
yeah.
know,
Must be.
I don't. I mean, if a guy, number one, has been with your daughter, even if it was consensual, that's enough right there for you not to ever be with that guy again.
Hmm.
But this was a molestation situation because the girl was a minor when this happened.
Exactly.
And this dude actually, they prosecuted this dude and he went to the penitentiary. But when he got out, she was the first one standing at the gate to be back with him.
But I love him.
I mean, it's
That's
crazy.
ridiculous, man. That's I mean, there's no it shouldn't be nothing there. If it was my child, I would want to put him right back where he just came from. It's ridiculous. It's women out here that love or just want put they all into a man and just
But
let
see, the
that
thing about
child
it is, but see, the thing
fall
about it,
by the wayside.
the thing about it, penitentiary don't change you. All it does is put you in a situation where you with criminals all over again. You don't get rehabilitated. People who does stuff like that need to get a certain type of punishment. I need to fuck you up. That's flat out. Flat out.
Yeah, yeah. Because you,
Sit you in a chair, duct tape you to the chair, pull your socks and shoes off, take a hammer and hit them damn toes.
yeah.
You
See,
know,
but I've also heard some parents feel it's the child's fault, the reason why the father or stepfather molested them.
I
What do you
ain't,
think
I
about
ain't,
that?
I ain't never fallen for that.
that's when I said that, I can remember hearing things when I was a kid where, the adult women was saying, "Girl, that little fast tail heifer, she probably wanted it. She probably wanted it."
But my thing is, regardless if she wanted it or not, she's still young and she's okay. Young girls, they get hot. Okay, young boys, they get hot. Whatever. You are an adult to know the difference of trying to take over of an innocent mind to do what you want to do and manipulate her or him into doing what you want them to do. That's falling in a whole different category. My thing is, regardless if she's hot in the ass or not, it don't make no damn difference. You're supposed to check her, put her in her place. He could have went to her mama and said, you know what? You need to talk to your daughter.
Yeah,
That's what a man's, but the person that molesting her has something going on up in their head.
yeah. They sick. That's what it is.
Right. That's why I just said, take them hammer and hit them damn toes.
Yeah, they really sick.
I
Because
mean,
you would be a sick creature to do something like that to a child. Seriously,
if
to
you
even
see a
have that
person,
mindset to even do anything to a
but if you
child
have
like
a
that.
person go to jail and come out and still do the same thing, that tells you something right there. They're not being rehabilitated.
No.
They're not. No.
Jail is not about rehabilitation anyway. That's not what it's about. But can we even? Well, first of all, they say that a molester can't be rehabilitated. There's no way to rehabilitate a person that wants to be with children. It's just no way to do it. But my thing is, even if there's no way to rehabilitate the offender, what about these women that will go back to these guys that did this to their kids?
Right. I mean, it's a sickness. It is to me. It's just really sickening for a woman to go to a man that done already. I don't care if it wasn't her child. If it was somebody else's child, it's still just as bad. It's a sickening. He's sick and she's sick. Both of their ass sick. So let me ask you this. You know what?
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Actually, this is a good question for us after our break. So maybe we can take a break, or we can take a look at a video that of this certain particular person that has some issues, and I just want everybody to take a look at it.
You're listening to Love, Sex, and War with Miss Wetcat. The topic for tonight is molestation, and why do we as a people not want to talk about it and
do something about it.
If you like to call in and join the show, the number is 248-429-7224.
Come here.
You can also reach us through Skype. Our Skype name is vent.radio.
degree below, this is my molestation video. Yes, as a child, I was molested. It's easy for me to talk about this now because a few years ago I couldn't talk about a situation like this. But it's easy for me to talk about it now because I've overcome the situation. Sure, the situation affects me in a way still, and I'm gonna get to that later on in the video. But let's just jump into the story. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, I've overcome the situation, and the situation doesn't make me sad anymore. You know what I'm saying? But it still affects me till this day. Like, things that happen to you as a child will affect you until the day you die. So we're just gonna start off with the story. Basically, I was like 7 to 8 years old when this happened, and it happened in my home. Yes, my own home. There was a get together going on in my house. You know, my mother and some of her friends, and my father and some of his friends. You know, they was playing dominoes. You know, drinking margaritas, the whole nine yards, just having them a good little kiki, having a good time. And they were like, all the kids go to the back room and start, you know, go play with y'all toys and stuff, like go in the back. And it was like, okay, we're gonna go play with our toys and stuff, yay. So we went in the back. It was me, my little brother, and some other little boy, and then it was it was this teen that came with us, and the teen was one of my mother's girlfriend's like sons. And he was back there with us, and he was like in his late teens, like he was like in his first year of college. I do remember that. Like, I remember this whole situation so vividly. So we went to the back and we got on the Nintendo 64 and we were playing Mario Kart, and I had gave up my remote to my little brother. Girl was on Nintendo 64, but I gave it to him or whatever so he could play with the little boy. So after I gave up the remote, I went, I sat down and I watched him from a distance, and the boy was like basically right next to me, and he was sending signals out to me, like he was basically like, follow me, like, come on. So I followed him. You know, I'm little. I'm a child. I'm 7 to 8 years old. I don't know any better, you know. In school, they teach us to stay away from strangers, not people that we know. So I follow him and we walk into my room. You know, I'm like, oh, we in my room. You know, this is my room. This is my house and stuff. You know, you in my house. I trust you. And he had told me to get up in the top bunk bed. I'll share the room with my little brother, and we have bunk beds. So he told me to get in the top bunk bed, and I got in the top bunk bed, and he left the room. So when he left the room, he turned the lights off, and I'm in the top bunk bed. I just remember wondering, like, what is going on? Like, why am I in the bed? And he walked back in the room and he jumped in the bunk bed with me. And when he jumped in the bed, he pulled the cover over us. So he pulled the cover over us, and like he was just like asking me questions and stuff, and I suppose I was answering them, but I'm still not realizing what's going on. Like I said, I was never taught to stay away from people you know. I was always taught to stay away from strangers. So I'm in the top bunk bed or whatever, and he in the top bunk bed, we under the covers, and he started like feeling on me and stuff. And as he's feeling on me, I'm getting uncomfortable. You know, I'm moving to the other side. It was a twin bunk bed. I'm trying to move as far as possible, but I can't go nowhere. I'm trapped. And he just started getting real aggressive with me. He started getting real aggressive with me, and I was trying to get out the bed, but he was like, just stay, like, we having fun, or whatever he was saying to me. And he just like got on top of me and he pinned me down, basically. When he pinned me down, at this moment, I just felt so out of control. Like, I've never felt so out of control in my life, but at that moment, I know I felt so out of control. I remember this so vividly. And like, he had put his hand around like my neck or something like that, and he started like grinding on my leg. So he's grinding on my leg, and he's grinding, and I feel his penis. Like, I started feeling his penis up against my leg. Now, back then, I didn't know what a penis was. I didn't know what sex was. I didn't know what a penis was. You know, my parents weren't the best parents, but I was still, you know, kind of raised right. I didn't know about sex and shit at an early age. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know about those things at all. So I'm confused as a child. You're rubbing something up against me. That's all I was thinking. And he had the nerve to ask me, do you like this? Do I like what? What is going on?
Well, did you
What do
tell
you
him
mean?
you had a
Do I
penis
like
too?
this? He basically told me, don't answer that. And the next thing you know, I feel my pants coming off and I feel him inside of me. Like, is this really happening? Like, it's the most painful thing I've had
You
to
got female,
one of the most painful
female
things
people,
I've had to experience. Like, emotion,
like a
like
she-girl.
So this
and
person
physically.
has a
Like,
coochie.
it was so painful, and I
I,
felt
I
so
don't I don't know.
I'm moaning out for help. Moaning out for help. I'm screaming, trying to scream. I can't scream. He has his hand over me. And nobody's coming to my rescue. And I'm just in I'm freaking out. And he was raping me. He, and that situation still affects me to this day. Like that event affects me to this day. And let me tell you why. That caused trust issues for me, and that caused all type of issues for me, like mentally. Like that after that was I wasn't right mentally.
That's the
That
same thing I
moment,
was
it was like
saying.
something was being
Yeah,
taken
that's it. That's
So
it.
now I don't know if this is a young man or a young lady. Um,
Right, true that.
I don't. I mean, however, that doesn't matter if someone's taking your sex away from you or tricking you or molesting you because you're too young to defend yourself or know what's going on. But it kind of threw me for a loop because uh, I'm I'm looking at this person and this person appears to be a male to me,
Hmm.
and this person said that she felt he or she felt this guy inside of her.
Right.
So
But
I'm
but
I'm
it said they said it hurt like hell, so you don't know whether it was front or back. But all I know is it was rape either way it went. Molestation, it was
Okay,
molestation
but
either way
see,
it
you
went.
gotta okay, a lot of times people don't know what you're going through. Like me
Yeah.
myself, I used to cry a lot growing up. I don't know about screaming out like she talking about. Oh, I screamed out like I was trying to scream. I was scared. I didn't know what to do, and my me myself, I cried a lot. And my family members used to tease me, "You little Susie, why you always crying? You little girl, always picking with me." And I used to tell them, "Leave me the fuck alone." And I wouldn't go outside. I used to just watch out the window, and while the other kids played, and I wasn't interacting good. So even when I went to the point where I went and left high school and went into the military, I was still having issues with dealing with life. Period. Like taking orders, and I was always fighting against, and trying to get a decent job, and it's a lot of stuff that was affecting me, and my relationships. Oh my God, I had to be honest. I took the women through hell. I did.
Wow.
Yeah, I did.
Wow. So you took that throughout your whole life.
Basically, I'm still dealing with it.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think a child would lie about being touched by someone in their family?
Hell yeah.
I mean, just on the strength of.
I experienced it. I got a nephew.
absolutely they will.
Right. I'm not gonna say anything, but I got a nephew, and made up a statement like that about him being molested by his stepfather, and that molestation got me to the point where I knew what happened to me, so I broke out in tears. I loaded every gun I had in the back seat of my car, and I drove down Harper Avenue running red lights.
Dang, Lord.
And when I got about halfway, that's when they called me and told me, man, it was a lie.
Wow. That's something to say. I mean, that's a big issue when somebody blurs out something like that and it's not true.
Yeah, but it's a known fact that kids will lie because they don't want to be disciplined, or they mad at you, or they can't something that they want to do and they can't. It could be numerous things, but yeah, kids are known to lie. You have to be really careful with a topic like that. You know, and
Exactly.
and before you can act out, you really need to find out exactly what's going on.
Exactly. Exactly. So what if a family member tells you you better not scream and you better not tell nobody? What do you do in that situation?
Well, see, when you're a child, it's not you already confused, so you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, see, when you dealing with a 5 and 6 year old, more than likely they're not telling them that. They telling someone who already knows, like somebody a little older that. You know what I'm saying? But when you 5 and 6 years old, you barely even knowing how to. You can't even tie your shoe. You know what I'm saying? So threatening a 5 year old don't calculate too well to me, because
No, but
I
what
wasn't
about the ones that it does calculate though? That's
right.
what I'm saying.
I understand it, but I'm saying I'm speaking for myself at the experience that I've been through.
Mm,
They didn't, because they were family members.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they didn't threaten me like, I'm gonna kill you if you do this, or I'm gonna beat you up. Or, I didn't get threatened like that.
Mm.
You know.
Well, I just noticed this person's YouTube name, and the YouTube name is He Flawless.
Do see me outside, the outside house.
All right, bro.
All right, bro. I'll be here about between 8 and 8:30.
All right, man. I'll be here.
That's another guest that we had on the show. This guy's name is his YouTube channel name.
I'm telling them features look just like a dude too.
Yep, that's his name, even on Twitter. He Flawless.
So out of everything that has happened to him, he just went flip flop. I mean, it happens with people. Like he said, he been through a lot, and he probably been sexually molested for years.
Well, this guy,
You never know.
this guy don't look like he was turned out. He looked like he was.
He been that way for years.
Okay.
I just thank God I ain't go that way. Ooh, Lord.
Yeah, but you never know what kind of issues may come up with other people like that, what it does to them. You know what I'm saying? Especially you don't know how long it's been happening. You don't know, when it started. So it could be issues later on in time in regards to that for a woman or a male. It don't matter.
Because you heard him say it's still affecting him now today.
He said it's affecting him all his life.
Right. So
Yeah.
well, he let that hair grow a little longer, but them lips poked out a little bit.
You
Walking with that ass tooted out a little bit.
Wow.
There's no excuse for committing this type of crime to any child,
No, it's not.
family or not. It's a violation of one's body and soul. And that's the honest truth.
Yeah.
It really is.
But what do you do with people that affected their whole lives like that? What kind of, they can't function in life. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm in my 50s and I'm just starting to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
I still have to live and survive through society. I have to, and I can't, I get angry and snap. You know what I'm saying? It's, what do those people get out of life? The abuse, that's abuse that you've been dealing with all your life. And I mean, how you help the people, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, the only thing you can do that I know of is, they have counseling for stuff like that.
See, that's what I'm talking. See, look, I did a little studying in school, and I know how to read books. I can read. And 90% of them people that, okay, they're not helping you, you're helping yourself. The only thing they're doing is giving you the different guidelines of what you can do to help yourself. I'm not saying all might not be able to help you, but some of them people, I'm not trying to go talk to somebody where they go sit at the dinner table and discuss it with their family and over some spaghetti and shit. and discussing my motherfucking business. You know, what I did was, and I went to the Most High, and that's Jesus. I went to the river, pulled out my Bible, and cried my butt off and talked to him and had him try to steer me in the right direction because I had my trust in him. I didn't feel comfortable with talking that with nobody. And by me talking to him, he opened the door for me to be to what I'm doing right now. So people that need help, they need to talk to other people that's been through the same experience that they have. That's anybody that, if you ain't never lived in the ghetto, how in the hell do you know how we live in the ghetto? So you can take a rich man, and if a rich man become poor, he can't survive. But you can take a poor man, make him rich, and he lose all his money and go back poor again. He's a survivor.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that's just how it is. So if you want to take a child and a woman that's been raped, she need to communicate with people that's been in the same experience that she's been, and talk with people that been through it more so than somebody who hasn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if
Just
you
like
a dope fiend, how would you know how a dope fiend feel if you wasn't a dope fiend yourself?
I wouldn't know.
Well, I'm just saying. But you got some college student that's saying, "Oh yeah, I went to school for psychology and I'm doing this and that." I say, "Well, sir, have you ever been molested?" No, then you don't need to talk to me. I don't need to talk to you. I need to talk to somebody that's been through the same experiences that I've been through.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you know,
I understand it.
each his own. I mean, people deal with problems and things differently. You know,
Exactly.
I know quite a
Exactly.
few people that just now are able to, just like yourself was are just now able to even conversate about something like that. You know, and then like I say, you have people on the other side of the issue who may have been a parent or guardian of a child that was molested that are still living and sleeping every night with the molester.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a crazy situation. I mean, you know, I think of another person that I grew up with, you know, and when he's always been into young girls, and you know, we used to just laugh at it and think it was funny, you know what I mean? Because he would always have these girls in his car saying, "Oh, that's my goddaughter. Oh, I'm her play uncle," you know, and even now to this day, you know, he still does it. And I really don't like being in his company anymore. Where when we were like in our 20s, probably even up into our early 30s, you know, nobody uh checked him on it. Nobody, you know, said, "Hey man, you know what is this shit you doing, man?" You know, we
Right.
were just like, you know, hey, he liked them young bras and that's that, you know. But when you become an adult and you have children of your own, you look at that stuff a whole lot different. You know, it's not, you know, you used to go to the barber shop and guys would be talking about, you know, how they hit this young one and they got this young one. And, but, you know, when you get a little older, you know, you start looking at that as, you know, man, you a damn pedophile. And I don't want to be in your company. I don't give a
Mm.
damn how we grew up together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You view it differently then.
Yeah, because honestly, if you look, if you have kids, that'll make you think, well, dang, he can be doing that. You know, what if he did that to your child? You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
I must tell you, Miss White Cat, it looked like somebody that molested that dog.
Whatever, man. Ain't nobody that
And you know
molested my
what? They made sure they grabbed them ears too.
baby. But I just want to say this. This guy named B. Robinson states that this is actually what he stated. He said, people need to be cautious of family, cousins, uncles, step parents, stepfathers, etc., as well as family and friends. And that's true. When you have kids, you have to be cautious of all of this. It may not be a stranger that might be out there. It could be your own people. It could be your own friends. So you have to really be careful and keep an eye out instead of always saying, well, I'm on, I'm ready to go. I want to go hang and I'm going to need a babysitter and all this and that. Sometimes you just have to be that parent. You have to be there for your child. So
Okay,
if you know,
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, okay. What about it in a situation where, like you say, you got people that lie? You know,
You mean kids that lie?
not just kids. People lie, just like a rapist. A woman will say, "Oh yeah, he raped me," but it wasn't that person. You know, you've been in situations like that. You know, you have to be careful. Period. You know, somebody say, "Oh yeah, I went to a party and find out that and she got raped and find out it wasn't." Just like, for instance, I'm gonna just use this for an example, a racial type thing where they say it was a white boy that raped me, but I blamed it on a black boy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But a lot of things that you deal with in life, even when you accuse somebody of doing something, you know, they're gonna lock that person up, regardless if it's the truth or not. You know, so a lot of times people, you just have to be really careful, period, throughout whatever you do in life, because a lot of people point the finger at you because they mad at you.
Right.
They say they got robbed by a black man and found out it was a white man that robbed them. Black man raped me, but a white man it really did it. Or, you know, you never know what a person have against you. For instance, they got this new thing out right now. If you ride down the street and you texting on the phone, I can report you, give them your license plate and all that. You know, I can get paid for that.
Yeah, you probably can.
No, they're doing that now.
Oh, okay.
You can be driving down the street texting, and if I pull up beside you and you texting on your phone, all I have to do is call the police and give them your license plate and tell them what route you're taking, and tell them that you texting on the telephone. No, serious. And
no, I hear you.
So just imagining if you had somebody who got something against you because you driving a nice car and you black.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's just, I'm just using those for an example, but it's a lot of things you have to be careful with. People say things and do things because they envy or they mad because you used to go with my boyfriend or I used to go with my girlfriend. You know, you slapped my mama a long time ago. You know, you know what I'm saying? It's just
always different excuses.
Right. So
yeah,
you can't always believe what somebody always say.
Right. That's true. That's true. But for the ones that this case happens to, honestly, I'd like to say that there are places that you can go and there are people that you can call just in case your child has been molested in any type of way. So if you know someone who is or who has experienced this and been victimized, please don't hesitate to contact like the National Sexual Assault Hotline. There is a number that you can call. It's 1-800-656-4673, and they're available 24 hours a day. And I'll give that number to you again. For the National Sexual Assault Hotline is 1-800-656-4673. But we're gonna I want to say thank you to Whispers for being on the show tonight, as well as Big G. And we're gonna sum it up for tonight, and we will be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. ready to roll on Love, Sex, and War.
I want to give a shout out to our sponsors for tonight before we leave. Shop Talk Magazine.
Hey.
And Spendy Magazine. They sponsor Love, Sex, and War tonight. If you would like to be a sponsor on Love, Sex, and War, you want to get your information out there, you need to email us at ventradio.radio@gmail.com. Back to you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Spendy. That's what's up. Shop Talk. I love them all. Again, if you want to get onto the show, give us a shout out. Email us and just get in contact with us. We have plenty of ways that you can. We are on the set every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Love you. We'll see you next Tuesday. Love, sex, and war.